8 o'clock on the start of your Wednesday. Glad you're with us for Hump Day. Here we are. It is one day closer to Friday, one day further from the eclipse. Yet I feel like I'm still
Isn't something else
reeling
happening
from the eclipse
on Saturday?
What?
Isn't something else happening on Saturday? What do you do on Saturday?
Bye-bye. See you never.
Ed has a little vacation planned. He's so excited.
I feel like the eclipse cool down is something that's been taking a little while. I don't know. What do you feel like? Do you feel, I mean, after seeing, I feel like that's all I think about is the eclipse.
No, I've moved on with my life.
Have
but
you
thank
really?
you. No, I mean, I did think it was really cool. I've been really enjoying looking at all the like different pictures and videos that people have gotten. And then I also really liked seeing the pictures of people watching.
Sorry.
So like we had this little girl and she was like pointing and I was like, that's such a special moment. So cute.
I had my mic off. I apologize.
That's it. We're both in rare form today, and I can tell you, I missed the first cut in.
Is your mic on?
Yeah, it's on.
Lauren said you're low. I don't know.
Get low. Yeah, no, I'm on.
Hold on. Get low, get low, get low. Okay. Barbara says you were as warm as we were here on Hutchinson Island yesterday in Florida. Yesterday, one of those gorgeous days that we love getting to see in April. It was 75 degrees. And if you weren't outside, you missed out. There were so many people running, walking their dogs, and just enjoying.
Banda had the best time yesterday.
I know.
We walked in my parents' neighborhood, and he just loved it. And then by the end, he just was like collapsing.
Yep.
Drinking water.
Well, and that's the best part is that they are just poop.
He just loved it. He just like had the best time. He looked so happy the whole time. You know how they're walking and they're like,
they're smiling. Yeah. Lori says it was up to 80 in Attica. Peter, good morning. Want to bring up your comment here.
Of course you do.
You look younger. And yes, there are speed dating events in Buffalo.
Yeah, I've seen some before.
We were talking about that yesterday.
Maybe Peter's going to sign himself up.
Sarah wondering, any word on what's causing this accident in Lackawanna? I don't know. Maybe John could bring up the night tech camera.
Yeah, we just had it in the cut-in. So it's a crash on the 190 South.
But that's on the 190.
That's what Aaron had. So no, I haven't seen anything in Lackawanna. But that 190 South is really holding people up there.
And that's north.
That's on Sheridan.
I'm looking along Route 5 here. Let's see what we can see, because I don't really see any delays on Route 5, to be honest with you. Especially at Ridge Road, I don't see anything. It looks like traffic's moving smoothly in that area from what I can see. But I don't know, maybe you can give us a little bit more of a specific location and we can kind of dig into it a little bit more, because I don't see anything here.
Yeah, no, it looks fine. Wait, what's this? Nope, still nothing.
Are you looking at Ridge Road?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Traffic on Route 5 is what Chris says also. Can you tell us where on Route 5? Because I genuinely am looking and don't see what you guys are seeing
Route
here.
5 at the 190, clear. Skyway.
Between Bethlehem Steel and the Skyway's at a standstill. So maybe we can call Lackawanna Police and just see what's going on there.
You know what? Is it
I
right
honestly,
there? I
don't
can't
know.
tell. It could be. That could be sitting stuff.
Yeah, it looks like some lights flashing.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's hard. It's like this big, and our old eyes can't see it.
Well, that's why I have glasses, but Lord knows they're not helping. Mary says nothing on Route 5. A friend just passed through. They're going toward Derby. Was walking with her. Okay, this is why we love Second Cup, because we're able to crowdsource here. Chris says the Skyway entrance. Okay. I wonder if we could see anything on Skywatch. Maybe we can have. Okay, so here's the Route 5 camera right by Ridge Road.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. See in the background, is that lights there?
I don't know.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. Right on the left-hand side of the screen there.
Hey, John, do you want to call Lackawanna Police quick, or do you want? You know what? Is someone who's here? We'll text someone to do it. Who's here? Adam Campos. Yeah, I was like the other Adam's on vacation.
Who's here?
Okay, so
Great
while we
question.
figure this out, Thank you, Peter. That's nonsense. We're not old. I want to talk about the prom cost
Okay.
because I put this on Facebook and a couple people, someone wrote back for a high school prom. So we're going to talk about the cost here. How much did prom cost, or how much do you remember spending? What was the most expensive part of your prom? What was the most expensive part of your prom?
Gosh, honestly, I don't remember. I think
Did you take a limo?
yeah, we took a limo, we took a bus, we had prom dresses, we had a before party, we had a post party. We then left the island and then went to New Jersey. So
What did you do after your prom?
we went to Wildwood, New Jersey for 3 days. And we had
What kind of post-prom party was
this
this?
was a typical post-prom party.
Not here.
So, I mean, we
Okay, so you spent a lot of money.
yeah.
Okay. The average prom, $900.
For the dress.
No, on average, it's how much people pay.
Wow.
Dresses are $85 to $700, so you're gonna range there. But $1,000 on a prom is a lot. Tickets, the dress, the limo, not your 3-day trip. What else? The corsage, the hair, the
Right.
nails,
The shoes.
the shoes.
Well, good news. A lot of these high school girls are getting the opportunity to go check out. Yes, we definitely know. Check out and find a free dress because we know how expensive it is to make ends meet. And this is an opportunity for you to get a gently used, maybe never worn dress at no cost.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
So Kristen did this great story where she really followed this girl, and I loved it because she put the microphone on the girl, and it was like
Yeah.
we were shopping right along with her.
She
It
was so
sweet.
cute.
Carol's daughter went to 5 proms, had a new dress for each one. Whew. Peter's dad rented a Cadillac. He was the chauffeur for his prom.
So much more than it was back in 1976 is what Lori says. But I want to bring up Marlene's comment. So this is kind of what we're talking about. Colvin Cleaners has an event April 9th, 10th, and 11th. And today's the second day. I was just checking to see what today's date was. They've cleaned, donated prom gowns for very affordable prices. They're free. Look online. I believe you have to sign up.
Yeah, you do. It was like a time frame, I think, that you come in.
Oh my gosh, Jeanette. Exactly. That's exactly where we went. Wildwood, New Jersey. Growing up, they wouldn't let us go to the shore because they said that's where the hooligans hung out.
Jan, did you have a hooligan? Please chime in here.
Do you want to know a funny story about prom? So I went with my best friend's friend at the time. I don't know where this girl is anymore. I don't know
Hopefully
what she's
she's
doing.
watching right now.
She's not. I can guarantee it. She probably hasn't thought about me in 20 years either. But my other best friend wanted me to go with her so badly.
So her friend could go.
Well, no, my best friend, they're both girls.
Yeah.
So I had 2 best friends, Nina and Lauren. Lauren, who I've known since kindergarten, wanted me to go to prom with her, but I really didn't want to go with her friend group. I wanted to go with Nina's friend group. And
so you went with Nina's friend.
Right.
Okay.
And I think I kind of upset her a little bit. I still feel bad about that to this day.
Why?
Because we're still really good friends. And
you upset Lauren
Yeah,
by going with the other girls.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to say. High school. You know what I mean? Like high school, there was so much drama about like little things like that. It probably, I'm pretty sure she's gotten over it.
I haven't. You know, like you perseverate about these things.
You do worry. You do feel bad if you ever feel like you made something.
My mom says I had my harem and we had a ball. I mean, you saw the pictures earlier this morning of me with all the ladies.
Yes.
And as I mentioned, 20 years later, he would find himself and be able to get married to a man.
Tracy has some dresses to donate. That's fantastic. Lori, we had a junior prom, 11th grade senior ball.
Did you have a prom in 11th grade?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we had a junior prom and a senior prom.
Yep. And then, like I said, I went to the all-girls school, so the all-boys schools had prom. So if you had friends over there, you'd go with them. We ended up doing that kind of a fair amount too. Like if somebody wasn't dating someone, we had like kind of a good group of friends in high school. So
like
you'd be
pool.
like, well, you take her and you take her and he'll go with her. And then you kind of all got to go together, which was nice.
I think the way prom is done now is a little bit different than what perhaps we did. I think it's just a lot lower key.
You think prom now is lower key?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. See, I would think it was higher key. Like with the promposals that I've seen on Instagram and like the Instagram videos, I thought it was more like I don't know, like it was
Overdone.
important how it all looks and everything.
Well, I'm
now.
sure it is important to look good, especially for the Instagrams.
Right, like that's the difference. There was no social media when we were growing up.
Right. What we did was take our digital cameras, snap pictures, and then
You're like, can't wait to see these in 2 weeks.
exactly.
Like it was those little snapshot cameras, you know?
So funny. Gosh.
Like,
the
so
point and
Kristen Miranda
shoots.
was running around the newsroom yesterday. She was trying to get people's prom pictures. I'm like, the only prom picture I have with me is one that I had my mom take off the still picture at my house the one day because, like, I don't have any digital prom pictures.
Yeah.
It was too long ago.
I have two, I think, and they were uploaded when I first got Facebook in 2005.
None. My Facebook, like, I was already halfway through college when we got Facebook.
Okay, so Marguerite says it's great how a bunch of friends just go together now. I kind of like that. Like, you don't need a date, you just go as a group.
Can I tell you what I like too? The girls, we were saying, oh, shoes is an expense. Have you seen all the girls? They wear sneakers with their dresses now. That's like the cool thing.
Like white sneakers.
White sneakers, a lot of them. Yep.
I
They'll
love-
wear like these cute little dresses with white sneakers. I mean, love it or hate it, whatever. It's got to be way more comfortable than what we wore.
No kidding. Well, how many of you brought your
Flip-flops.
Right, exactly. You wore those nice shoes and then changed to
Threw in
flip-flops.
flip-flops in the limo or whatever.
Okay, Anita wondering, what does the solar eclipse have to do with teacher layoffs? So here's the transition point. Thank you, Anita, for bringing this up. In West Seneca, they are now part of an undesirable group of people who have something in common together. And we're talking about school districts that are having to lay off staff as a result of this federal funding that is drying up at the end of the year. We know in Buffalo, there is a I think it's $90 million gap that they have to fill. Same thing in West Seneca. They now have to lay off teachers because this federal funding is drying up. Hamburg, it's the same issue. And a number of schools across the area are facing this roadblock now. What do we do?
So in Buffalo, they've got a $90 million budget shortfall that they need to make up for. Their hope is that they can do that through retirement. Okay, so some of the teachers who've been there for a while retire, their positions don't get filled. Now, let's be clear, that likely means other teachers taking on some additional responsibilities depending on the situation.
It's interesting, though, too, in West Seneca, they were talking about a nearly 2% tax hike and a school tax. And the West Seneca superintendent is warning that if this doesn't pass, more layoffs could be in the future. So a lot of these parents are very upset, as you can imagine. A lot of the teachers are even more upset. The union, and I think the union treasurer in particular, was speaking to us, 7 News reporter Eileen Buckley, speaking with that union official, or Derek Hyde. Both of them were covering the story. Both heard from those union officials that said that there is a lack of transparency in how these decisions have been made.
Right. And they basically said in the past, they've been able to come to the table and all work together on it. And that wasn't happening, is what we're hearing.
So this is one of those stories that we'll continue following for you throughout the day. The other interesting story that we're following here today, and would love to hear your voice on this, what do you have to contribute to this conversation? What should be done in Niagara Falls?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Can I just adjust Anita's comment really quick? So Anita, no. So you're probably talking about, so what the post says for this is, this morning we're taking a look at more teacher layoffs in West Seneca, plus the economic impact of the solar eclipse. So we're exploring those two topics separately.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I think she's thinking that they're connected somehow. No. Yeah, we're just exploring those two topics separately in Second Cup today.
and Donna also chiming in here. Superintendents shouldn't be threatening people with a tax hike just to keep their kid teachers.
Right.
Shame on them.
So anyways, I'm sorry, Nita. I just wanted to clarify, like we usually list a couple of different topics that we're going to hit in the explanation of the video.
And then Donna wondering, so wasn't the lottery money supposed to be used for education? So the lottery money is different than the federal funding that was pandemic-related funding going towards school districts across the area.
It's that ARP, that American Rescue Plan funding, and that's what's running out.
It dries up in June, and a lot of districts are now trying to figure out how they're going to fill that budget gap. Realistically, what's going to happen is there are going to be layoffs, there are going to be tax hikes, and people are going to have to pay a little bit more to fill that gap. Jason says that's terrible. Education first. The students are the ones that are going to suffer, no doubt.
Okay, so you did want to also talk about Niagara Falls because, so here's where we were talking about the eclipse. We were expecting this big economic boom in Niagara Falls. We're supposed to get a report in a couple of weeks. I reached out to Destination Niagara over the weekend. I'm like, what numbers do you have? What do we know so far? How many people? They didn't really have any of that, but they said, we're going to do an estimated economic report in the next couple of weeks. So look for that to come out. Okay. The question was, what are people doing when they're here? And they were coming for the eclipse. Yes, we know they're here. What else are they doing? So Leah went up there yesterday and talked to people who are still here.
It's interesting because Nate McMurray, who's the former Grand Island town supervisor, and think of him what you will, politics aside, he put out a pretty scathing post about Niagara Falls. And he's basically saying he's pissed, he's done. And many people, I don't think, can blame him for saying that, but I just don't know that many people just can't blame, I don't think can blame him for saying what he said, because it's true. There is a lack of tourism attractions in Niagara Falls outside of the aquarium, the falls, the park.
As compared to the Canadian side, you would say there might be some lacking, things to do there. So that was the thing that our anchor Leah went up and she was talking to people, and people said they'd love to see more shopping. What else did someone say? Someone else had another really good idea. Music, more live music. Yeah.
Nightlife. And then Shirley says, I can imagine how disappointing Niagara Falls, the American side, is for tourists. They were saying that they were surprised that there wasn't more to do.
And you know what they also pointed out? And someone actually said this. The guy kind of looked up the street and he goes, it seems like the casino here is the main source of entertainment.
Well, and realistically, it is.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls, Tracy says, don't get me started. If I had money to invest in the falls and tourism, we don't need to be Clifton Hill.
Right.
Don't want that, but we need something. Spend it on revitalization because there's not much here. And then, unfortunately, in, parts of that area, there's a extreme poverty situation that needs to be addressed as well. So what are leaders doing to
address that?
Exactly, and move people out of those situations.
Now, there are some gems. The aquarium, it's gotten so many renovations over the years. I mean, we've seen new exhibits be added there, that aliens of the sea, the jellyfish, and all the things that they've been doing.
And they just recently moved into that new building.
They've got a lot. Like the new one. Yeah, so there's a lot happening there. There's some nice restaurants there, but I think the point that these people were making was like they wanted some more things as you walk away from the falls, Old Falls Street, there are some empty spots there.
Now, that F Bites restaurant that was open, a lot of people love that, and they were hiring students who otherwise wouldn't have a job, and I love that. Old Fall Street on Saturday was booming. There were so many people there and so much to see and listen to and explore in terms of the vendors, the markets that were set up, and it was very cool to see that. But that energy can continue on, and it's so important that we see that almost harness that energy and then move the ball across the finish line to really make Niagara Falls what it could be and live up to its potential.
Sherry said she'd like to see more family entertainment there.
Great idea.
And that's probably true, because when I was there on Monday, there were a lot of families. I mean, there were couples and there were, some older, but there were a lot of people who brought their kids.
Shirley says Niagara Falls needs to be more like Elmwood.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Elmwood is going through a little bit of a transition also. I was just speaking with a woman yesterday who said that, kind of was going through Elmwood Avenue in the late 90s, early 2000s, kind of talking about how there was even a Pier 1 on Elmwood at one point, and talking about all different restaurants that had been there. It's interesting because there's constant undulation is what I would say. I love that word. Like the ups and downs of how neighborhoods respond.
It's funny because you have your staples, okay? Like you're looking at a couple staples right now, right? Good Bar and Kohl's, they've been there forever. But you're right, like some of those storefronts in the Elmwood Village, we've watched them transition over the years.
Right. And I actually tried to get into Kohl's over the weekend.
Good luck.
Right. Well, they basically said we're only taking reservations.
Nice.
I wanted to have dinner, but that's so good for their business. I went to Zio's, the sub shop on Monday. They said that that was their busiest day since they opened. So people are spending their money here, which is great, but now we need to kind of, we know Buffalo is so great, but we need to make like Niagara Falls so great as well.
Yeah, let's see. Your mom says they talked about this over the weekend. So much more that could be done to revitalize the area. Back in the 80s, Clifton Hill was great. Lori says they need restaurants and bars in Niagara Falls. Connie's friend is a barbershop and a salon on 3rd, near 3rd.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's where that one.
I know.
As I mentioned before, Wine on 3rd. That's a pretty good restaurant that I've been up there and enjoyed a few times.
Tracy says, I really want Niagara Falls to thrive. I think we all do, because once Buffalo booms, when Niagara Falls booms, we all benefit from that.
Yeah.
all that increased revenue coming in.
Tracy also mentioning that new welcome center in the park. It is really amazing. There's an interactive center inside. Wants us all to go check it out. Connie says the barber place and the hair place right next door to Wine on 3rd.
Sarah, I went to NU. I love that place. But Niagara University isn't in Niagara Falls, is it?
I don't. Its mailing address might be. It's a lot closer up towards Lewiston.
Right.
I mean, beautiful campus.
It's a great drive too. I mean, you get to drive right along the water. It's gorgeous. Jeanette says, it's sad because when I go out of town and people don't know where Buffalo is, how do you not know where Buffalo is? I hate saying that it's right near Niagara Falls because I'm not proud to say that. Because I don't want to compare nicer parts of Buffalo to Niagara Falls. You just can't, is what she says.
If you tell people you're from New York and they're like, New York, and you're like, no.
Buffalo, New York.
And they're like, oh my gosh, how often do you go to New York City? And you're like,
oh my God, it snows all the time.
Not really often. It's on the other side of the state, but people don't know. I went through a lot of that when I went to college. People were like, New York.
Well, it's so interesting because even as a young man, I did not ever... Well, I mean, I grew up on Long Island, so we were so we were very tri-state area focused. So we didn't really know much about upstate. I had no idea about Western New York. And I was a little bit humbled when I got here, I think, for lack of a better term. And, you fall in love with the place when you get here. And then I've lived here 13 years now, and I wouldn't want to go anywhere else.
So we had my brother and sister-in-law in this weekend, and my sister-in-law kept saying, I really like Buffalo. She's like, you kind of get the bigger city vibe, but also the smaller city charm. She's like, it's a perfect mix between big and small.
Exactly. Anita says, I always say Buffalo is to New York City as Pittsburgh is to Philly. That's a great way to put it into comparison. I kind of compare Buffalo to Chicago. Buffalo is a smaller Chicago.
Oh, okay.
It's very quaint in places. You get that feel of a bigger city in some places.
Yeah. I mean, Chicago's a monster of a city.
Oh, 100%. But it's on the lake. There's water.
Yeah,
you get to experience so much of that,
it's like a Cleveland
charm.
To me.
Okay.
And even,
Lori says, I love our seasons. Ramon says, Buffalo is the Western New York version of Brooklyn.
Anita means distance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then Aaron says it's just a hometown city.
Yeah. Peter says it's a buried treasure.
It is. Oh, it's raining. Do you hear that?
Raining.
Ooh, thank goodness I didn't leave my sunroof open. Because after yesterday, did everyone have their windows down?
Oh my God, I bet Paul did. Hold on. I'm going to call him real fast.
Hi, Paul. Oh, put him on speakerphone.
No.
Come on.
Absolutely not.
I love talking to Paul.
Hold on.
Okay.
You wait 1 second.
Paul is the best thing about this relationship.
Work husband, real husband. Work husband, real husband.
Mary says Buffalo is
We're
historical.
on top right now. It started pouring. We just wanted to make sure that you close the top to the Jeep and the windows and stuff because I saw you hit them open yesterday. Oh, okay.
Can we put him on speakerphone now?
I'd want you to go on speakerphone.
Paul, no F-bombs, Paul. What do you say?
I'm going to say some swear words. Don't say any swear words. I'm going to put you on speaker. You say hi to all the cuppies, and that's it, okay?
Hi, Paul.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, how are you? Oh, my God, he sounds so professional. Paul, what's the weather like at your house?
Not that great, but I looked quick at my phone, and it said, I think we're good by 10?
Yeah, I think Aaron said morning showers, and then it was supposed to clear up and get kind of nice. Hey, how's Bandit?
Good. The question you normally ask would be,
did he poop and pee?
Did he poop?
Yes, he did do both this morning, so he should be in good shape.
Paul, what's the plan for today?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I gotta go get the Jeep detailed.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm gonna take the train back home or just Uber. That's pretty much it. Right now, I'm getting my energy drink.
Oh, hey, Paul, Danielle, one of our cuppies says you sound young, like you're 18 years old.
Yeah, maturity level.
Okay. Bye, honey. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Paul.
Bye.
Okay, so Paul is the funniest person in the entire world. We also found out today that...
Bandit on the phone.
My God, that would be so funny. The older child is smarter than the younger child.
Oh my gosh, how do we just think to bring this up now?
But the younger child is funnier.
Yeah, Paul's a
Disagree.
middle child. Mm-hmm.
Trauma.
Typical middle child. Very attention seeking. All right, everybody. Oh my gosh, so fun to talk to you all today.
Wondering if you have a Jeep Wrangler.
Yes, he does.
Oh, here are our prom pictures.
Aw.
Look at how cute you were.
Thanks. Wait a minute.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys.